Are you an otter lover, or just want to know more about these aquatic mammals? Some of these animals are even endangered, so if you have the chance to see an otter in the wild, take it. If so, this list of 15 different moments when otters hunt and eat their prey. Number 15. Otter versus caiman. One of the toughest animals in the Amazon jungle is the giant otter. They are constantly surrounded by black caimans, anacondas, jaguars, and pumas. In our first clip, 2 otters have 6 pups and protect and train in the way of the jungle. This otter father has a lot on its plate when a caiman approaches the family looking for a meal. The 2 otters do not waste any time and surround the caiman, striking first before the caiman can cause any damage. The cubs panic and unintentionally follow their parents in the battle, which is not a good thing. Now the parents must continue fending off the caiman and worry about the pups being killed. But the adult otters intensify the attack and prevent the caiman from escaping. The damage is done and the caiman is history, but not without killing 2 of the cubs. This next clip shows an otter walking close to 2 caimans on the beach and just rolling over in the sand. This otter does not look one bit worried about the caimans. It is clear the caimans don't want to mess with this otter. Our next clip shows a family of otters avoiding a caiman attack. It was a close call, but everyone is safe. Otters seem to manage very well when confronted the caimans. Number 14. Otter versus snake. These otters seem to be having fun with the snake. The snake slips from the otter's grasp, but the otter snatches it up again in seconds. This looks more like an activity in the park than a fight. Our next clip shows a lone otter playing with a dog-faced snake in a mangrove swamp. It is fascinating to watch the otter attempt to capture the snake in a cat and mouse game. But the otter does not bite the snake to kill it right away. It kind of just nibbles on it and let it swim away momentarily. When the snake thinks that it's getting away, the otter catches up to it and snatches it up again. It is kind of a cruel game if you ask me, but I guess that's the way otters do it when they are tangling with snakes. Occasionally the otter submerges looking for the snake and eventually finds it and eats it. This next otter has a more formidable opponent to deal with. It looks like some type of a python, possibly an anaconda, so the otter better be careful. The otter sees the snake and taunts it. The snake lays still as if it is analyzing the situation. The otter sticks its nose in for a whiff, and the snake strikes but misses. The otter retreats into the water, which may not be a good idea since these types of snakes are even more dangerous in the water. The otter decides the fight is not worth it and swims away. Smart decision by the otter. Number 13. Otter versus dogs. Otters and dogs do not meet up very often, but in this clip we see a family of otters looking for a good spot to set up the pyrocl and folding chairs so they can spend a nice day at the beach. However, when the otters spot a couple of dogs not too far away, they kind of panic and head for the water. The dogs seem all excited and get closer to the otters, stop and stare. It is as if they are telling the otters they are crossing a line and they control the burial. The otters tell the dogs that the burial is theirs and chase the dogs away. Oh wait, the dogs stop and stand their ground. The second dog jumps into the action, but only for a second before turning around when it sees some of the otters holding machetes. The dog takes off without hesitating and will know better next time. The otters are the new dogs in the burial, and let this be known. The otters jump into the water to celebrate their victory. But it may be too soon because the dogs are back, and this time they brought another vassal logo with them. But this doesn't seem to face the otters one bit, and the otters chase the dogs who run for their lives. Our next clip shows an otter surrounded by 3 dogs in a swamp. The dogs are barking at the otter, but they are not going in for the attack except when they get too close. The otter lunges at them for a bite. The dogs finally attack and bite the otter, but the otter retaliates. The otter is joined by a friend, so the dogs must be careful. The otters finally swim away, and it is game over. Finally, our last clip shows a couple of otters trying to get away from some dogs, and they manage to do so, and you can see how happy they are to meet up again. Number 12. Otter versus monkeys. Otters and monkeys do not like each other, and this clip from the San Diego Zoo demonstrates this. Watch this otter aggressively attack these monkeys who stand their ground and retaliate. I am wondering why these animals are in the same enclosure if they don't seem to appreciate each other's company. The otter keeps going back and forth between the monkeys and the other otter, but nothing much is happening besides that. The otter finally takes a swim around the enclosure and returns to its otter friend without any skirmish taking place. This next clip takes place at the Bronx Zoo, and the sea otters have the part of the enclosure where there's water. But over this portion of the enclosure are tree branches overhanging the water, which allows the monkeys to seep into the otter's part of the enclosure. Unfortunately for one monkey, it falls into the water and is swarmed by a bunch of otters. Another monkey is trying to help it out, but there is not much it can do. The monkey is being eaten alive by these otters, and this will not be a happy ending. Our next clip shows a fight between a monkey and an otter, but it looks like this is a play fight. You can see the otter lying on the floor and the monkey jumping all over the place, but this does not look like a serious altercation. It looks like these two are friends and probably grew up together. Finally, our last clip shows a couple of otters playing with this big monkey. But suddenly, the monkey backs out and climbs the tree as if the otter suddenly became aggressive. Must be something the otter told the monkey. Number 11. Otter versus jaguar. Jaguars are apex predators, and I do not know how well an otter would match up against one, but both are such worthy foes. It is a toss-up. Whatever these two means. Our first clip takes place deep in the floodplains of the Pantheon, the largest tropical wetland on the planet. These giant otters wanted to move into a new den, but they had no idea jaguar was right next door. Stalking them, jaguars have the strongest jaws of any big cat, enabling them to stalk their prey and kill them with a bite through the skull. Normally they would feast on caimans and capybaras, but it seemed that something new was on the menu. This time, the entire otter family is at the beach for a fun day, but they have no clue what is about to happen. The jaguars are approaching quietly, and one of the jaguars attack from above, managing to snatch one of the baby otters and run back up the side of the small cliff. But the otters retaliate immediately and attack the jaguar, causing all sorts of emotion, which forces the jaguar to drop the baby otter. The otters were able to protect their babies, but unfortunately the pressure of the jaguar's jaw on the baby otter, even for seconds, caused its death. Our next clip shows a jaguar looking over the water on a tree trunk. An otter swans by, but neither the jaguar nor the otter reacts. Suddenly, 3 otters pop their heads out of the water and swim as if they are auditioning for the synchronized swimming team. After a few nice coordinated moves, the otters charge the jaguar, which takes off without hesitation. Number 10. Otter versus human. Otters may appear to be gentle and cuddly, but they're still dangerous wild animals. Otters have a powerful bite and straight teeth, so if you see an otter on land or at sea, keep a reasonable distance of at least 50 yards between you and the animal and never feed sea otters. The perfect example is in this clip, where an otter attacks this woman. It's obvious the woman is not enjoying what the otter is doing, and just by the way the camera is moving, you know it's not good. Whatever happened to this woman, I'm sure she will remember this day for a long time. This next clip shows a young woman climbing on some sort of platform and an otter approaching it. The otter goes underwater and pops up on the other side, frightening the man. As soon as the otter moves away a little, the young man jumps into the water and swims back to safety. The otter swims across to where the man has escaped, but it is too late. In her next clip, a pole country girl attempted to close the door quickly after helping your dog avoid an otter. However, it seems this was not done quickly enough, and the otter squeezed inside and attacked her as well. Both her and the dog are safe, but they had the scare of their lives. Number 9. Otter versus turtle. Otters do not back down from a challenge, and a turtle is a challenge. But check out this otter sneaking up on this big turtle. The otter climbs on the turtle's back and immediately tries to flip the turtle, as if it knows its weakness. The turtle tries to snap out the otter, and the otter lets go. But not for long. The otter is tenacious and does not stop trying to flip the turtle over. But it's not an easy feat. It finally managed to do so and begins to bite at the turtle's stomach. The otter drives the turtle deeper into the water with the turtle still on its back and defenseless. I guess it will be turtle soup for the otter today, and the otter returns the next day to finish the leftovers. Once they are turned over, turtles do not have much of a chance against any attack, although it's not easy for the otter to flip the turtle over. You knew it was just a matter of time before it was going to happen. Number 8. Otter versus monkey. The scene takes place at the Bronx Zoo, where the sea otters have a section of the enclosure with water. But there are tree branches hanging over the water, allowing the monkeys to step into the otters section of the enclosure. One monkey unfortunately falls into the water and is attacked by a swarm of otters. Another monkey is attempting to assist it, but it is limited in its abilities. These otters are eating the monkey alive, and there will be no happy ending. This footage from the San Diego Zoo reveals that otters and monkeys do not get along. Watch as this otter attacks these monkeys, who defend themselves and retaliate. If these creatures don't appear to enjoy each other's company, I'm not sure why they're in the same enclosure. The otter continues to go back and forth, but nothing else appears to be happening. The otters get some reinforcements, but the four small fellas aren't sure what to do. The monkeys, on the other hand, are calm, cool, and keeping a close eye on the otters. Number 7. Otter versus clamshell. Otters are extremely intelligent creatures. Only if they need to open tough shells like clams would they bring a rock to the surface, and as soon as they're through, they'll roll over and unload the rock. This one snagged 2 clams on a single dive. This otter tries to crack a clamshell open by banging it on this boat. What a smart animal. He finally makes it happen and enjoys what's inside. One of these otters uses a rock to break the clam open and shares his food with his playful baby afterwards. It's amazing to watch these otters in action. Each arm of a sea otter is fitted with a pocket tools, leftovers, and in this otter's case, a pocket full of clams can all be stored in these useful storage pouches. Number 6. Otter versus frogs. A North American otter surveys this pond for something interesting and finds a frog which it snacks on. This otter has squeezed his head into the stall grass and dirt and comes out of there with a frog in its mouth. These poor frogs can't hide anywhere without being gobbled up. This was unbelievable. The person filming didn't realize that bullfrogs are eaten by otters. He only seen them eating fish before, so that's what he assumed they ate. He felt this was fantastic because he didn't imagine a large, juicy bullfrog would be as delicious as a lobster. Number 5. Otter versus octopus. This sea otter hangs onto an octopus and tries to make the most of it. As the otter floats on the water, it's obvious the otter is biting into the mollusk. But is the 8-legged creature still alive? If it is, it doesn't have much time left to go. This industrious sea otter was able to capture one of the world's greatest escape artists, an octopus. And I can't say he's not enjoying. Number 4. Otter versus caiman crocodile. This otter circles this lizard numerous times, thinking and preparing an assault. But the reptile is alert and prepared. It's interesting to note that in this scenario, the otter is the predator, not the other way around. These otters are on the lookout for a caiman and dive underwater to get a better look before retiring into the undergrowth. They look to have killed something, but it's tough to tell exactly what it is or what happened. Check out how big this saltwater crocodile is and how dare this otter approach so close to it. The best thing is, when the otter gets close enough, the crocodile leaves and returns into the water. That is something I never expected to see in my life. The massive crocodiles in this footage don't seem to bother these otters in the least. No matter how large their opponent is, they will charge and attack when attacked by larger predators. Like crocodiles, otters are known to band together and collaborate. As you can see in the following clips, when these otters swarm and bite non-stop, this monitor lizard isn't having a good time. Even though the lizard appears to be dead or unable to free himself, he eventually escapes and survives, albeit with several lacerations on his body. Number 3. Otter versus fish. River otters, the largest members of the weasel family, are adorable and their playful nature endears them to many people. But they are serious fish predators for many anglers and farm pond owners with the potential to deplete a pond's fish population almost overnight. Most fish do not stand a chance against an otter attack, and you can see in this video how much the otter is enjoying its fish. Our next clip shows these 2 otters capturing a giant carp and pulling it out of the water. This is what you call fish on the rocks. Finally, our last clip shows a family of otters capturing a big catfish. It is obvious the size of the fish doesn't matter when it comes to otters. They just go for the kill. No matter what type of fish it is, they certainly do not discriminate. Number 2. Otter versus crabs. A wild European otter fishing off the coast of Shetland, UK, is captured in this underwater video. It's capturing crabs and a little fish. As you can see, this poor crab is being gutted by this otter. But for the otter, nothing compares to fresh seafood on the fly. This crab goes for a walk and is greeted by some hungry otters that give it its last rites. The crabs are killed and eaten as soon as they are within reach of the otters. What happens when there are less people around? In the Strait of Juan de Fuca, an otter mother and her 2 pups are foraging for fish and crabs. They have a habit of stealing food from each other. The enraged mother snarls and attacks her puppy that's calm and most plump and tasty. The crab was also fine. Crunchy. Yummy. They just love it. This smart otter uses a rock to break open this crab. You can see the otter bang the crab on the rock repeatedly so it can access the tender meat inside the crab shell. Number 1. Otter versus abalone. The abalone is a gastropod mollusk that is known not just for its similarity to the human ear, earning it the moniker earshell, but also for being the most valuable shellfish in the world. which otters are aware of because they enjoy eating them so much, as this otter in the video demonstrates. Here's another otter devouring a tasty abalone. The otter floats on his back like an experienced synchronized swimmer and stuffs his face. This otter cleans out an abalone shell that's bigger than his head. There's no stopping a hungry otter. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.